Welcome, listeners and viewers, to Man Cave Media Network and the Down East Prep Before Winter Sports Show. And Chris, I can tell you right now, this is going to be fun because they're giggling over there, and they've been giggling since they got here. So it's gonna be a great show.
Anytime you have Kim Miller on the show,
it's going to be a giggle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think, do we need to call the police?
No, I think we're good. We're good. But this is the Winter Sports Edition show of Down East Prep Report, brought to you by Marine Federal Credit Union. I'm your host, Steve Goodson, and along with co-host Chris Miller, we are joined today by this week by Swansboro High School girls basketball coach, volleyball coach, athletic director, whatever title she wants. Coach Kim Miller. Kim, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, ma'am. And standout players Payton Battle and Addison King. Ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So each week on the Down East Prep Report, we'll be talking to area coaches and standout athletes, and we'll be touching on different storylines from around our local boys and girls winter sports scene. And whether you're a parent, a grandparent, an athlete, or just a diehard fan of your local high school sports athletic program, this is where you want to be to watch about and see what things are going on in our area. And once again, I want to thank the show sponsor, Marine Federal Credit Union. At Marine Federal, you're more than just a member. You're part of a community with personalized service, competitive rates, and a commitment to your goals. Marine Federal is here to help you thrive every step of the way. Visit marinefederal.org to learn more and discover how Marine Federal Credit Union can help you build a better financial future. So before we jump in, I got a couple people that I also need to thank. Vital Signs and Michael Zari Jr. They've partnered with us to create the Kicking T-shirts that we give away each week to the guests. So, Junior, thank you so much, and Senior, who is there sometimes but spends most of his time in Raleigh representing us on bigger issues. We appreciate you. And also Steve Wan and the fine folks at Steve's Subs and Salad for providing lunch, family fun, fast, friendly, flat out better than the chains. Steve's Subs, located in Bryn Mawr Plaza at 248 Bryn Mawr Road in Jacksonville, is the place to be. 910-353-6040. And they make it just like really easy for you. You can order and drive through. You don't even have to get out of your car. I think it may be the only I think there's a Subway at the end of Lazaro's build there on 17 that has a drive-through. But anyway, you don't have to get out of the car.
But we appreciate Steve Subs and very tasty subs.
Yeah, and he told me to tell you hello, by the way. And he actually told me to tell you hello, too. So Steve Subs and Salads, where big flavor lives. So here's the game plan for today. We're going to talk to Chris and get a little preview of there's a big, I'm going to say it, and I may say it wrong, wrestling match tonight. People say I say that funny. I don't know. Anyway, big wrestling match tonight. Big Carolina 6A, 7A match between the three-time Onslow Cup champ Jacksonville High School and a fired up White Oak High School. We're coming to get you, White Oak High School. I talked to Coach last night. Following that, Chris is going to talk a little bit about the boys and girls basketball conference standings. And specifically, he's going to kind of discuss. You guys got some parity going on in the girls and the boys divisions of the Coastal 5A and 6A. It's kind of a tight race. So I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that. After that, we'll talk to Coach Miller and Payton and Addie. Addie or Addison? Can I call you Addie?
You can call me Addie.
Okay. I hope I can because I just did by mistake. So anyway, okay, good. So and we're going to learn more about these young ladies in Pirate basketball. And then we'll wrap things up with our Scholar Athlete Spotlight for the week, and that's brought to you by the law offices of John Drew Warlick. But to kick things off, let's start off with the Player of the Week, and this is brought to you by Jason Humphrey and Down East Heating and Air Conditioning. And you guys may recognize this Player of the Week, Fletcher Panos. Sorry, I know that name because he's got older. His dad probably played soccer. Probably is that the dad? That yeah. Senior, Swansboro High School. They played a couple games last week. I guess after exams were over, they beat West Colorado on Friday night, and they beat North Lenoir on Saturday night. And there you can see the stats for Fletcher: 15-1-1 against West Colorado, and then imploded for 23. My goodness.
Yeah. When you remember, and Coach, it's no secret that was a game that Connor got banged up, and unfortunately he's going to be out for the year is what I was told. So with that hand wrist injury. So but big win for the Pirates last night. They kind of struggled early on and found a way to win. And those guys like Lorenzo and some of those other guys are going to have to step up if the Pirates are going to continue trying to make a run for the conference. But big win over a very, very talented Dixon team last night. So I was very impressed with the way they, Coach McFarland does a good job getting those guys pumped up and ready to play.
Well, so I did not know. So the May kid got hurt,
and so did Fletcher. Fletcher was in a boot as well.
Oh wow! So there's
Coach. What are you doing to the kids? Are you really beating them up that bad?
I'm not. I think they are just going hard and getting injured, going hard at it.
Mm-hmm.
So do they pick on you? Because they asked before we went on camera. But if you look at the screen right there, it's kind of like a valley goes right there. So do they pick on you?
Do they pick on me?
Yeah.
All the time.
Are they? Okay.
All the time. They're ruthless.
Are they?
Ruthless.
She does it back though.
Oh, okay. So she gives it back to you guys.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
That's good. That's good. Well, Fletcher Panos, player of the week, brought to you by Down East Heating and Air Conditioning. Congratulations, Fletcher. Down East Heating and Air, a family traditions of quality since 1986. With locations in Jacksonville, Wilmington, and North Myrtle Beach, Down East is the #1 Bryant dealer of the Carolinas. Home office, garage, man cave, and yes, even a basement right here. Down East has the perfect system to help you stay comfortable during the winter sports season. Head over to downeastheating.com and let Down East put their talents to work for you. So before we hop into all things basketball, Chris, I want you to give us a little quick take, if you would, on a big wrestling match tonight. It's not for first place in the conference. New Bern has actually already wrapped that up, first place in that 6A, 7A Big Carolina Conference, but it's Jacksonville White Oak.
It is big. Sorry, it is big because both Jacksonville White Oak are 6A. So the winner of that will be the top 6A for the dual team playoffs, and not many teams make the dual team playoffs in wrestling. So there's been times where you've had a really good team finish second and not make the dual team playoffs. So it is a big match for that, in addition to being a rivalry. So I think we learned a couple weeks ago during the Onslow Cup, and again, congratulations to the Swansboro girls wrestling.
Yes,
Yep, for 3 straight Onslow Cup titles. But Jacksonville boys won their third straight, but White Oak was only finished a couple points behind. So it's going to be I think it's going to be pretty intense. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. And Coach, I talked to Coach last night, and I said, "Hey man, you want to give me a quote?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll give you a quote." He's pumped, man. He said New Bern has wrapped up first place in the conference, so we'll be squaring off on Wednesday night for second place. But really, what it boils down to, it's White Oak versus Jacksonville. Crosstown rivals. Enough said. I mean, that's the deal, right?
And I had communicated with Mark Holbrook, the Jacksonville coach, who we will have on the show next week.
Yeah.
And texted him back and forth, and let's just say he sent me a pretty long text message detailing his team and guys. So he's pretty pumped up, and he's filled up with coffee, admittedly. So
what time do matches start normally?
They'll do the weigh-ins at 4:30, and then they'll do the varsity girls at 5.
Okay. So probably by 6 o'clock, probably.
Yeah. Then they'll do like JV boys, and then varsity boys will probably start about 6:15 or so.
Okay. I may have to go out and watch a little bit of it tonight, man. That's legit. So Coach, who would you say, or ladies, who would you say is y'all's biggest rival? Is it Croatan, or is it somebody in the county?
As far as basketball,
so there's no. Is there anybody just in general, Swansboro athletics, or does it skew towards a sport? Is so and so a bigger rival in a sport, or is it like Jacksonville White Oak are just. They just don't like each other. What we could be playing. I mean, and I say we. I went to White Oak. My kids went to White Oak. They could be playing tiddlywinks, and it wouldn't matter. They just hate each other. Is there anybody like that with Swansboro? Not hate each other, but you know what I'm saying.
I think good rivalry for us would be like Croatan. Because
yeah.
we're a short distance, kind of like what Jacksonville and White Oak is.
Yeah.
Plus they were the newer school.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good rivalry, just like Jacksonville.
Now, is that the Ben? That there used to be? Is it the Ben and Jerry's, or is it the
Football, it's the Ben and Jerry's.
The Ben and Jerry's? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, all right. It's always good to have a good rival. So,
Who's your rival, Coach?
Who's my rival?
Yeah.
And what sport?
Coaching. Volleyball and basketball. Debbie Bryant. I guess there was Tammy Batchelor back in the day. Bev Marley.
Angela Buchanan. Yeah, we were rivals whenever we played each other, but we'd go out and hang out. And
afterwards.
The dinner before or after. We used to get picked on by Phil Padgett because we'd call each other the night before we played and talk to each other, and he's like, "Yeah, we don't do that in football.
They'll do it.
Gonna smash heads."
Yeah, they may do it afterwards, but they definitely.
And
I think it's somebody who really likes her, who really thinks that this person hung the moon, and that's Mike Kelly from Richlands. He thinks a lot of you. When I was talking to him about some other things, and your name came up, and he just had nothing but great things to say about you.
And it's so funny whenever coach is going up against another coach that you're really good friends with. Bev Marley. How many times did you and Bev Marley just friendly chirp back and forth? And it was really neat to see. I mean, they had more fun talking to each other than they did coaching the game.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it, man.
So don't put all these.
It's a game. I think you said a lot of. It's a game, and you got to keep all that right into perspective. So let's talk. You talk real quick about the conference standings in basketball. You don't have to go into detail, and if you want to cover all of them or just touch on the 5A, 6A coastal, that's fine as well. But basketball is back in swing now after Christmas break, and then after the exam break, and so we're in full tilt with conference swing, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm can show that graphic now, or I was going to show it when we got going. Do you want me to show it now?
No, yeah, show it now. But
yeah.
And thanks for doing that because I just got done writing it all down. So
yes. So this is as of this morning. This is the Coastal 5A 6A Conference girls basketball standings. Mm-hmm. Croatan 6-0, which we went and watched. I went down to Croatan. I originally thought it was at Swansboro. I don't want to. When you get old, you forget things. He called me and told me, he said, "Hey, Croatan and Swansboro playing basketball. Why don't you come watch it?" So I bebop up to Swansboro. I go up to the gym. I don't know where I am. I really don't know where I am. Give the lady my money and then look up and there's a wrestling match going on. I'm like, "Hey, can I have my money back?" And I hopped in my car and drove to Croatan. So, but I wouldn't watch. I got to catch the last maybe quarter of y'all's game. It was a good game. Croatan won, but you guys played. But you guys played hard. So.
Did you get your money back?
I did get my money back. If I'd had more money, I'd gotten more money out of the bank machine, I would have not asked for it back. I would have made a donation. But I just don't carry cash with me, man. I got that card. And you can just swipe it or do whatever. So.
So in other words, you're cheap.
I'm a cheapskate. Yes, I'm a cheapskate. Go ahead and say it. I'm a cheapskate. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, Coach. You and I, talked yesterday about the game. Your girls continue to play hard. Don't always execute 100%, but y'all continue to play hard, and that's the good foundation that y'all have. And you're hoping to use that that hard play and that team unity to try to overtake Croatan. I mean, you have them again, and you're only one game back, but it's going to be pretty interesting the second half of the conference play for y'all, isn't it?
Yeah, coming back from Christmas break, we had. Everybody was having issues with illness and stuff like that with all the teams. We have to just get back to playing together, playing consistent, trusting each other, which we always do, and just execute. It comes down to who makes the least amount of turnovers, who makes one more basket. All you got to do to win a game is one extra point. And that's what we kind of harp on with them, is letting them know that you just got to score one more point than them. Do we want it that close? No. It's fun. But for some people, they just get stressed out a little bit too much.
So I'm looking at the standings, and 7-team conference is 16. So you play the 6 other teams. So you guys are halfway through.
Yes.
5-1. So you got six games left. You played everybody. Croatan was the only group that got you. I'm assuming with Dixon, the 2 teams that got Dixon, would be Croatan and Swansboro.
Because the Pirates defeated Dixon last night.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So So it looks to be potentially a 3-team. So what happens if you guys next time is it just a tie for first place if you guys beat Croatan and you both end up just say 11-1?
Yeah, the overall conference standings would be a tie, but then we also have the conference tournament.
Okay, so y'all are playing. You do play conference
We
tournament,
do.
yeah. And then this year they've changed all the. I know in the other sports, football and soccer, they do this RPI now based on not. I guess your total
Body of
schedule,
work.
total body of work. Are you a proponent of that or
I don't have a problem with RPI. It definitely, the strength of schedule affects your ranking in the state.
yeah.
And, if your conference doesn't have a high strength of schedule, it affects it just a little bit now. Before we changed the RPI percentages, which went into effect this year, it had a higher percentage because it was your win percentage, then it was your opponent's win percentage, and then it was your opponent's win percentage.
Oh wow, okay.
And they were higher numbers for the latter two. So wins counted, but not as much as some of the others.
Oh, okay.
So, I like this because then it encourages people to schedule tougher competition to improve it. Even if they lose against a tougher competition, it doesn't affect their RPI as much
yeah.
as,
And scheduling tougher competition just helps you with when you get into conference play, right?
and also with, playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. So yeah, you guys are into it, man. Full swing. Any other conference schedules? Any other conference things you want to talk about?
For the girls, Coach, you're going to hate me saying this, but that was a good win on the road at Dixon. But I think it's safe to say that it is going to be a two-team race between the Cougars and the Pirates, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see, that rematch in Swansboro. I think the first time y'all played Croatan, I think they beat y'all about 13 or 14, but the game was closer than the score indicated. So a couple points here and there. So it'll be fun to see how y'all do.
Coach, he's going to get you in trouble. He will get you in trouble. Trust me. You know that because you were quiet. You did not say a thing. So
There's a lot of parity in the conference, and it comes down to any given night.
Yeah.
You never know who is sick, who's injured. So, you just got to show up, strap it up, and play.
and be ready to go, right?
And I do want to compliment you on your defense yesterday because that young lady from Dixon, Lily, a really great player, and she scored 5 points last night, and really good defensive effort. Last night by your girls. So
Thank you.
I know that's probably what you're most proud of is defense.
Yes, they work really hard on it.
All right, so let's get in and talk to them. And by the way, if you're watching the show and you haven't watched the show before and you see a little poodle meander across the floor, that's just part of Down East Prep Report. Millie, my little poodle, she enjoys coming over and checking things out, and she may sit down in the middle of the floor or do whatever. So
That's our mascot.
So anyway, let's hop into it. So Swansboro high school teams have been a force in many sports in Eastern North Carolina athletics for many, many years. And that's thanks in large part to the leadership of Coach Kim Miller. Coach Miller has led the girls volleyball and basketball teams. I'm going back on Max Prep and looking around, and I'm just going to say several years.
Veteran coach.
Yeah. She's taught sports medicine. She served as athletic director and as co-athletic director. And in 2020, she earned the North Carolina High School Athletic Association's Toby Webb Outstanding Coach Award for her dedication to student athletes. Joining Coach Miller today are two of the Pirate leaders, Senior Payton Battle.
Hello.
Good to see you. And Junior Addison or Addie King. Addie, good to see you.
Thank you.
Both young ladies are multi-sports athletes helping Swansboro compete at the top of the Coastal 5A, 6A conference. Payton is a basketball, tennis, and softball player. We were talking about softball before we hit the air. And Addison plays basketball and lacrosse. And as a side note, she's already locked up her after-school gig from high school. She's going to be she's verbally committed to play lacrosse at Campbell University D1. So Addie, congratulations on that. That's an awesome feat. You'll get to play, which you should always play for fun, but when you get in the spring and playing lacrosse, and it's a relief and it's going to be fun. So, but again, it should always be fun. But anyway, so This season, Swansboro is off to a great start. After last night's 37-24 win over Dixon, the Pirates improved to 9-4, 5-1 in conference play. And it's players like Payton and Addison and Maddie Floyd making key contributions in scoring, rebounding, and playmaking, and I would say leadership. So we're going to talk a little about the season and how it's unfolded so far, what it's like to compete in the conference, and talk about being a multi-sports athlete and just the varied responsibilities that go along with that, and talk about leadership and culture. So thanks for joining us again. So I'm just going to jump right in. Let me switch camera views here so everybody can see us. Everybody can see all. Everybody's on screen now, so don't pick your nose.
Wait a minute, you told me that they weren't going to be able to see if their feet don't hit the floor.
Yeah, I forgot that one, Coach. I can get a little book, a magazine, or something if you know. So, Coach, I'm going to start with you, and the big picture. 9-4, 5-1 in conference. How would you describe the team's progress and development so far this year?
We've had to replace a lot from last year that we lost. And the ladies have worked really, really hard, gotten used to each other. We're still working on the chemistry and getting, still more familiar in terms of being able to make cuts and find each other. They work extremely hard on defense. We've been able to shut down a couple of key opponents. And, we're getting better on the offensive end. And a lot of that has to do with us constantly playing together and understanding each other because of contributions and new people that come into the lineup and, different positions that we're asking them to play. So they've done a really good job. I've been really impressed and really proud of them to step up and play this way. One of the things we're dealing with this year is we didn't have a JV team. So we're really young. We have 6 freshmen or sophomores on the team out of the 12. So, they're doing a little bit of growing up and learning at a faster pace that, hopefully they're going to start feeling more and more comfortable that we can get them into more games and help to contribute.
How many starters did you have return this year?
I got to count now. Addie, Maddie, and Grace. So
okay,
3.
so 3, and then so two stepped in, and then like you said, a lot of young players.
Yes.
Yeah. So good things going on now, but good things in the future too. So that's great to hear. So Payton and Addie, and I'm going to go back and forth between Addie and Addison because I have ADD and I can't remember things. So let's talk about the level of competition that you guys are facing right now. So what's it like going up against teams? And I'll say we just talked about this, rivals, Croatan. I know West Carteret probably is a rival with you. I know at White we had a rival. Those people in West Carteret can be mean. They just are physical, man. They just are rough. Anyway. I know in soccer they were. My son played soccer, and anyway. So what's it like playing against those schools? And then you've got schools like Dixon you played last night, and Northside, week in and week out. So just talk about that competition and how you guys prepare. And I'll let you guys figure out how y'all want to address it. Whoever can go first.
I feel like preparing for all of them is different, but at the same time, like. We go over certain things. Coach watches film, lets us know like what we're going to be expected and what's expected of us. And obviously, you guys talked about our defense and like how you think we're doing good. But we play different every night depending on who we have coming against us. And I don't know. I think that.
No, that's good. No, that's cool. No, that's cool. Someone, I mean,
to say something
yeah,
and
no, that's cool. And probably last night, I think Maddie was the leading scorer for you guys last night. But so you probably have different players that are stepping up each and every night. Payton, is that the case?
Yes, it's definitely like every single game is different. Like sometimes somebody will score a bunch of points, and then like somebody will be better on defense. Like.
I also feel like with our team, if one person is getting shut down that night, like the next person's ready to step up. And like last year, we were kind of the same, but I feel like this year we're more everybody's included. We all like just because you shut down one person this year doesn't mean the rest of us aren't gonna keep playing.
Yeah.
And the thing about your girls coach is that if, let's say, Addison is, or somebody else is not having a good shooting night or whatnot, she's still doing stuff like playing good defense, rebounding, and setting screens and passing the ball well. So your girls are good at different things. Am I right there?
And that's what we've talked about the last couple of days. We know that the people that get mentioned the most are going to be the ones that score the most points. It's just like who has the most kills in volleyball or the goals scored in soccer. You may not have the best offensive night, but you've contributed defensively, deflections, assists on offense. You're pulling somebody away where you're able to find the open person for higher percentage shots. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're looking at is all around games from everybody. And if all five are functioning at that level, mm-hmm. it's hard to shut down 5 or 6 people. So that's what we've harped on is that it takes a team, it takes a family to be successful.
So that answers answers actually probably my next question, but I'll go ahead and ask it because you guys may want to add something to it. Payton, you've been putting up a lot of points and rebounds, and Addison, you've been helping with points and steals. So what does it just say about the team that you guys are each night someone else, like last night Maddie stepping up. True team. It's a true team, right? Is that a accurate statement, or anything else you guys want to comment on that?
No, I'd agree with you.
Yeah. I just think and a lot of times, guys, that's actually probably better than having a superstar, because if the superstar is not on that night, then the team suffers. But when you've got a good well-rounded team, I think Coach would probably agree with that just sets you up for a lot more success overall.
And that is, and they challenge each other and they hold each other accountable. They play for each other, and that's what we try to teach them is, you may not have your best scoring night, but you're playing for each other, and contributions come in many different forms other than just points. And they like each other. They play hard for each other. We always say we're a family in the teams that we coach. So
I even think like a couple people coming off the bench, they carry the same level of competition as the starters.
That's great. That's great because you never know when someone's going to get hurt, and that person that's coming off the bench could eventually be could have to step up and be a starter. Yeah. The boys are going through that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
With Swansboro.
So, Coach, you said they like each other. Do they like you?
Depends on the day, and it depends on if it's get on the line. I hope they do.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's a lot of versatility, and that obviously carries beyond basketball. Coach, you've got a full roster of multi-sports athletes that are playing with you. They play basketball, they play volleyball, soccer, lacrosse. Does that impact you at all in how you approach coaching? Not necessarily coaching, but maybe managing the team, knowing there may be some commitments elsewhere sometimes, or just talk about the impact of having multi-sport athletes playing for you.
We do have several that are like in season for volleyball, I know Addie travels for lacrosse at some point in time, as the seasons get going. So, we basically have an understanding, let us know sooner than later, because we can make adjustments, whether it be practice plans. The other day we were concerned about, like ice on the roads, and we're thinking of moving practice, and we had to, consider people working. So I think that the mentality of being responsible and informing ahead of time instead of the last minute allows for adjustment. And, it also comes into, like you were talking about injuries, it's the next person up. So if somebody's not there, next person has to step up and step in.
And you two, so multi-sports athletes, and then you guys this thing called schoolwork, right? And there's also kind of like you want to hang out with your friends or your buddies. I don't know if you got boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, but it's life, right? I mean, it's you play sports, but you got other things going on. So talk about just juggling all that stuff, being a teenager. So just talk about that and how you guys manage that.
definitely have to be like smart with your decision making, of course, like in your priorities. Make sure you're doing your schoolwork and showing up to practice, and then also having a job, making sure you're like actually showing up and scheduling when you can work, but also not.
Are you working
overworking
too?
yourself.
So you working as well?
Yes, sir.
Good
Yes,
gracious, good gracious.
But also like leaving time for yourself and hang out with your friends, which sometimes I have a problem with hanging out with people like in all of my free time, and my mom will have to tell me like you need to take time to rest because I'm like go go go, and then
Yeah.
I don't take time just to like sit down. So yeah.
Payton?
I would think, like, as I've gotten older, realize, like, when you have the time to do something, you got to do it then, especially with, like, schoolwork and sports. And, like, I know last summer I had no time to hang out with my friends and things like that because I was traveling a lot. And I feel like my main priorities are, like, school and sports, and then my friends come when I have time. This year is kind of hard because, like, I want to spend time with everyone while I have, because once I get, like, senior year in college, I'm going to have to prepare for playing lacrosse and things like that. So I really just feel like you have to make really good decisions.
Really good
with the
decisions.
future. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So you committed to Campbell, I'm assuming last fall, maybe September. I was doing a little research. Maybe I saw on Instagram, I think it was in September
Yes, sir.
that it was announced. So sometime last fall, summer. So congratulations on that. So as someone that plays, and it's kind of funny, I've asked this question to a girl, a young lady that played, we were talking about her earlier, played lacrosse at Croatan and played in college. She played basketball as well. How has being a multi-sport athlete helped you prepare for potentially playing lacrosse or even playing lacrosse in high school?
Actually, I played. Kate Wilson was one of my.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, we played on the same team.
Okay.
But I feel like it really just helps me interact with everyone, like not just during my sports, but like knowing that I've got what I wanted. Now I just want to help other people and play for fun.
Yeah.
Like all the stress is relief from me. And last year and the beginning of this year, like very stressful with all of that. And now that I've finally got what I wanted, I just can relax. And
Yeah,
play for
that's
fun.
and that's fun. That's the same thing that Kate said. She did talk about technically footwork. The footwork helped with lacrosse, and I guess you in both sports. I know
They're so similar.
I know very little about lacrosse. All I know is that the guys is a lot more physical than the girls. They get to hit a lot more, but there's zone defenses and there's man-to-man defenses. And she mentioned that so there's some similarities, I guess you'd say, between lacrosse and basketball.
I would agree, especially on the defensive side and like picks and screens. And I actually got into lacrosse because of basketball.
Oh, did you? Oh, great. That's cool. So, Payton, you're balancing basketball with tennis and softball. How does basketball complement your other sports experiences?
It really, since basketball season's before softball, it helps me like stay in shape and really just like be in the right mindset, like competitive wise.
Yeah.
And like want to win or do my best or like do better the next game or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And so you said first base and outfield, is that right?
Correct.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer first.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is probably a stupid question. Do you like to hit?
I do. Actually.
Okay.
I used to not, but I got better.
Okay.
So
So I mean,
fast.
and I say that's a stupid question, but some folks just like to feel. I mean, they like to play the field. And they, they don't necessarily like to hit, but you enjoy hitting now.
Yes, I started when I was like 10, and I was not good at hitting at all.
Okay.
So I would get so scared, but I've gotten a lot better, so now it's fun.
So I told you guys beforehand that I'm just not really a baseball fan, but I'll reveal to you why. I was playing Little League baseball. I'm a big guy, obviously. I wasn't as big back then. I was playing Little League baseball, and I got hit by the ball in my thigh, in my thigh, and it hurt really bad. And I told my mom, I'm like, look, if I'm going to get hit, I'm going to at least throw on some shoulder pads, right? Or so I'm going to throw on something where I can maybe hit someone back. And that was the last experience that I played baseball at Morton Elementary School. back in, I was probably in fourth or fifth grade. I never played baseball again after that.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
see how your life would have turned out if you stuck with
Yeah.
baseball.
That story means nothing to anybody, but it's just, I don't like getting hit by every time I see, and especially you guys, women's softball, girls softball, whatever you call it. The mound is closer. The ball is coming incredibly fast. If you get a really good pitcher, in high school is a really good pitcher throwing in the 60s, upper 50s.
Probably around there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that equates out to, from the distance from a baseball mound, right around 90 to 100, 90 upper 90s to 100 miles an hour.
You have to be faster to
Yeah.
hit softball than in any type of baseball.
Yeah,
So,
that's
faster
So
reaction.
speaking of softball, coach, are y'all ever going to do something about that dang sun
No,
that that shines right from center field during the middle of the game?
no, that's home field
that's
advantage.
that's the home field advantage, man.
Field advantage. Put some glasses on.
But how many games do we have to? Because there's some times where the umpire has to suspend the game.
Yeah, we've had that last year. They stopped the game in the middle of the game for like 30 minutes because
Yeah.
the sun was too bright.
The sun comes
That's
right
all right.
directly from
That's a
center
home.
field.
That's a home field advantage, man.
Hey, the school was built in the 90s. Come on now.
That's right.
Come
That-
on, we're going
that's
back now.
that's right. So, Coach, your impact clearly goes beyond wins and losses. You coached both basketball and volleyball, like I mentioned, for years. Earned the recognition by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. How do you keep players focused on growth and development beyond just looking at a scoreboard? Because in the end, everybody looks at wins and losses. But how do you keep them focused on that?
We really just, my thought process is we want them to leave better than they were, and as a well-rounded, not just with skills, but with life skills. And, the idea that less than 2% go on to college and play. So these are the years that you're going to remember, the friendships that you're not going to remember all the wins you had. You might remember one specific instance, and I want to make an impact like my coaches did when I was at Southwest, and help to grow them not only as an athlete, but as a person that is going to hopefully give back to society. And, whether it be coaching or whether it be the job that they decide to do, to come back years later and come visit and, bring their kids and see how much has changed in their life. So we kind of push that family mentality.
Yeah.
These are my daughters. All the kids that I coach, those are my kids. So it's a family atmosphere. Even though when they want to, take me out and beat me like a redheaded stepchild because I'm making them run or they're doing push-ups, but I want totally what's best for them, and I want them to realize that they can be whatever they set their mind to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I didn't know up until a minute ago that you went to Southwest High School. I did not know that.
I was on the 6-year plan. We went from 7th through 12th grade.
So you were there when they opened? Were you? It was, no. What?
No, I wasn't there when they first opened it. I ain't that old.
No.
now.
I was going to say that was, but I didn't. So I didn't realize that it went 7th through 12th. I thought when it first opened up, it went 7th through 12, but it stayed 7th through 12 for a while, huh?
I graduated in 91. I think it was a couple
Oh my
of years.
gosh, you're a babe, man. Good gracious, man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way.
So you mentioned family, but I think one cornerstone of your program, if you talk to other coaches, you talk to Chris Miller, you talk to different folks, leadership. Leadership is something that you guys have just always seemed to preach, and it's in the culture there. So, you've been a mentor and you've been a leader for many years. How do you model leadership for your team and help foster those qualities in your players?
Accountability, it's not always easy when you have to hand down a consequence for decisions made. It doesn't make you feel any better. I mean, this is year 29 being there, and it still hurts when you have to hold accountability. But the whole idea is, again, to help them to get ready for what's coming after high school.
life, right?
in the job force. If you say, no, I'm not going to do that stupid project, understanding that they're probably going to say you're fired.
Yep.
So the accountability, the camaraderie, girls sports alone helps to develop so many qualities that they are going to need in life
Yeah.
to be successful. And, I like it when my youngins come back and they're coaching. That they're contributing to the next generation.
That's really
of
cool,
kids.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm teaching some of the kids
I was going to ask
that
you. Okay.
I coached their parents.
Okay. So you have went through that cycle now. You're there.
Yes, I have. And I have one that hurt her knee, whose mama tore her ACL.
Wow.
But it's a lot. It's not as bad. But so I've dealt with a lot of kids that are coming up that now are people that I coach. I had one of my former players actually come back and help me coach, and she's a teacher at a high school. So it's nice, to you have them as students, then you have them as work colleagues, and then they get that hair, that they want to come out and coach, and you get to coach along with them. It's just different levels of relationship that kind of says, hey, maybe I am doing something right occasionally.
Yeah. And you would never say it, but you just right there at the end, that if you ever needed any assurance that you were doing something right, them coming back and coaching with you, or coaching, or just mere fact that they take the time when they're back in town to come to a ball game, or they're looking for you. And that says something about you, Coach. I mean, that really does.
Ashley Birding kind of comes to mind with that, because is she still at Ashley High School?
No, she had a youngin, and she's actually teaching college classes.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
her husband still works at Laney.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Laney. But y'all played them a couple of times. I remember her coming back and sorry, beating y'all.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's all good.
But I can agree with her. The way that she holds us accountable, like we have a schedule sent out every week, and we know exactly what to expect, everything that we need. But it helps. Like not all teams are like that. Like you're like calling a friend, oh wait, what time's practice? Like I don't remember. Like everything is written out for us. Like there's no excuse on why you're not doing the right
And we have
thing.
jobs. We have to.
Yeah.
Get
So
together.
So I was going to ask you guys, the next question was about leadership and how you guys go about leadership. So what's your leadership style? I mean, what's your leadership styles? The two obvious ones are obviously lead by example, or, maybe being a vocal leader, or maybe being a silent leader, and just I mean, so what do you guys think your leadership styles are?
I would say Addie's more vocal, and I'm more silent. Like if I see someone that either needs help or like is doing something they shouldn't, I'm more like pull them to the side and talk to them.
Yeah.
Well, like in the middle of plays, if Addie sees something that's not, like a play's not going right, she'll like say like, hey, you need to go there. Or like we try to have each other's back.
Yeah.
I would say that when we have like our leadership coach also like is right behind us with that, like making sure that we're also doing the right thing to show the others. And when you're a leader on a team like this, like you are doing something, but at the same time, like we're really just there for our teammates if they ever need something, like if they're mad at coach or coach is getting on them, like we're there for them, and we're just trying to keep everybody on the same page and stay a family.
Why would they ever be mad at you?
Because she makes us run.
That's part of it. So, and you guys know this, ladies know this, different players, and Coach will attest to this, take leadership differently, or take, I don't want to say criticism, but take constructive criticism differently. You may have someone that you get on and it fires them up and they get at it, right? And then you may have the next person shut down and they go to whatever, and coach might as well go ahead and pull them out of the game, because they're unfortunately they're not going to be any help. So I think that's one big thing that you have to identify as leaders, that that you really need to pay attention to. Do y'all have that spread of folks like that?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Like, there's some people on our team, as soon as coach is like, well, why'd you do that? Or like, you need to do this better. It's like, it's okay, you're good. Like, you definitely do notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, and that's just, and you're going to run across people like that in life. I mean, that's how, when you guys go to college or when you get out of school and get jobs and you become a boss or a supervisor or whatever, you're going to find out that one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do was be the supervisor of a 50-year-old and a 20-year-old because they are, and gender doesn't matter, just 20-year-olds think differently than 50-year-olds. And so it's extremely difficult. So looking back on the season so far, guys, tell me one moment that best captures, if you can think about this, one moment that best captures what this team is all about. And that's a question for all three of you guys.
When we played Richlands
That's what I was gonna say.
at home, I'm pretty sure everybody touched the court. And I remember sitting on the bench and just cheering so loudly, like getting to give back. Like, people are always cheering for us when we're playing, and sitting on the bench watching people who don't always get that experience, and especially without a JV team, they really don't get the experience as much. And I liked cheering them on.
That's awesome. Yeah. Is that your memory?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It's like fun to see, like what she said, like the people who don't usually get in as much go in and like see them run the play, and then we had one girl score like right when she got in, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I hit a
That was a
3.
lot of fun. Yeah.
So that captures the feel of the team, and that's unity and family and just togetherness, right?
Yes,
So, Coach, would you?
I agree with that one.
Yeah.
The other one that probably maybe comes to mind would be the Havelock game. It was a barn burner, 23-21. I mean, we couldn't hit the broadside end of a barn, but defensively, we played tough. And when push came to shove and time is winding down, even though we hadn't necessarily gone and reviewed our delay for, not trying to force a shot up, we were able to run the clock out with our dribbling and with our passing and making good decisions. So, that perseverance is a big thing that does exemplify and does signify the toughness, the mental toughness that these young ladies have as a team from top to bottom. That's another game that kind of comes to mind is,
and you said
they did it.
Yeah, and you said good. Good takes on many forms. It can look different just depending on the circumstance.
Yes.
It could be a 21-20 game, but it could be good. So
Yes.
that's
A win's a
great.
win.
A win's a win. Hey, that's exactly right. So looking forward on the rest of the season, talk about. So what are your team goals, individual goals? So talk about where you want to be with the basketball team.
For an individual goal, I'd say
yeah.
I want everyone to feel included when we're playing.
Okay.
And for a team goal, I feel like we want to make it further than what we did last year in the playoffs and hosting a game and just get through the conference play, and so that we can do good in playoffs this year. And conference prepares us for that. So
you made the playoffs last year, but you traveled the first round.
we did.
Okay. Payton.
I would say the same thing.
Okay.
Probably keep working as a team, and just push, get past first round of playoffs.
Yeah, because this is it for you, right?
Yes.
I mean, when the buzzer sounds and
It's
and
crazy.
the other team outscores you the last game, I mean, that's it. Addie gets to come back for one more year, and I talked to a lot of, because I was there, I talked to a lot of football players about playing in the playoffs and stuff like that. And there's definitely Addie, I'm gonna tell you, there's definitely a difference when you're playing a sport and it's your senior year as opposed to your underclassmen year. It's a finite it's a finite feeling. So Payton, good luck with that. Coach, what about you? Team goals.
Team goals is definitely finishing this season on a strong note. We have to show up every night.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't say, this team is 0-6, so it's going to be a cakewalk. Everybody's strapping it up everybody's going to play as hard as they can. They may not be able to execute correctly, but they're going to give you your all. And you've got to step up your play and remain consistent throughout the season. And if we do that, I feel that we can be successful. We can meet, finishing the season on a high note. We can meet going into the playoffs on a high note and hopefully surpass where we've been knocked out in the last couple of years. This is a new setup. We're now 6A.
Yeah.
It's not 1 through 4 anymore. So there's lots of schools we've never seen before. We'd like to be able to travel to some different places instead of the same places over and over again.
But better yet, you would rather have some of those schools potentially travel to you guys.
And that's one of our goals is we want to host. It was fun in volleyball to be able to host. We don't want to have to go on a 4 or 5 hour trip.
No, that's a long trip.
Although we already know where we're eating by the time we leave.
But of course, if you all keep on winning, you'll probably have a first round bye because they'll still have byes in the basketball brackets, won't they?
Yeah, but you have to finish in the top 8. So you have to break down the standings on Max Preps because they just do the whole state.
Yeah, it's way too early to get there.
Oh yeah.
I got another question for Coach, but it's morphing into something totally different. So, do you have anything else that you want to ask about basketball, or
you said there will be a conference tournament? Have you already kind of worked out those those details?
Yeah, it's going to be held at the higher seed.
Okay, every game.
Every game.
Okay, so the boys and girls game championship games could be at different places.
Let me think about that. No, it's held at, I think it's the boys this year.
Okay.
okay?
I think so.
Can we get back? And you remember this, Coach, when we had the East Central, when y'all were in the East Central, all those games were, me and Brandon Monk talked about this last week.
Yeah.
All the games were at Richlands. You remember how special that was, where it was almost like an ACC tournament type of feel. I wish we could go back to having that because that was always a lot of fun having that Monday through Friday,
Right.
And it was an event.
And it's just tough on the schools.
Yeah.
Because you're hosting 4 games a night, 2 or 3 days, between the logistics and admin, and then of course you got to factor in when are we going to practice. If we're not playing that night, it was, and I think that's kind of why the state bought into like that type of an atmosphere for regionals and for the state finals. But I think just to be able to find one place big enough to hold and to do it so many nights is kind of a tough act now with all the other things that are going on at this point in time.
Will and at that point in time, I know it's the end of the season and hadn't morphed into playoffs yet. But will spring sports be gearing up? Not necessarily playing games yet when the conference tournament starts, but they'll be in full swing practicing, right?
So conference tournament is, I think for us, is the week of February 16th, which is the week that we begin spring sports.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, like logistically, if you're moving on into the later rounds in the state championship, the spring sports are already playing games.
Yeah. That's just we talked about that in the fall and with winter, just the football if you make a legit run in football,
That's like a month.
Like Jacksonville and Northside did this year, it's tough on your winter sports, whether it's wrestling or basketball. So, I've got a question, but it's morphing. So you're okay. Yeah. Totally not related to this. Been waiting to ask this one, Coach. So how did you get involved in dog diving? Dock diving.
Friends. Coach Moore and them, they were involved in or started the first couple or did a lesson, and then they're like, come on. And we started and we haven't stopped. We started in Goldsboro, was our home dock, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into our closest dock is Merle's Inlet. So
nice.
That's kind of our home dock.
And it looks like y'all have it's a competition, but it looks like you guys have a good time because I follow you on Facebook, and you guys have a good time, right?
We have a good time, and you know, it's kind of interesting because the roles change. The dog's the coach, and you're the one getting barked at, or you're the one that's feeling bad because you didn't toss the toy fast enough or something to that effect. But it's it's kind of like coach, and you're working with a dog
Yeah.
who you don't like with teenagers necessarily speak their language.
Never.
And it's you get to meet so many interesting people, and I've traveled so many places that I've never been before.
And I was reading in the article that I guess you wrote back in 2020, you mentioned Bev Marley. Your first dog, you got Millie, which I have a Millie down there.
Yes, you
Millie, you got your first dog from Bev Marley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I've got some rapid fire for you, and then these are questions you have no idea on, and then I've got some rapid fire for everyone.
One question for Coach,
Okay.
though.
Good.
Who do you love more, the dogs or the kids?
Good question.
Dogs.
Okay. Well, here's
They keep you warm.
yeah.
We already knew that.
So here is your rapid fire, and every one of them is related to dog diving. What's harder to and your coaching? What's harder to perfect, a volleyball player's approach or a dog's jump timing?
Harder to affect. Dogs
Okay.
jump.
Okay. You're known for wearing Swansboro gear everywhere. Do you deck Millie out in your Swansboro colors too?
No, hers is pink.
Pink.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay. If you could teach one volleyball skill to Millie, what would it be?
Jump serve.
Jump serve. Between AD duties, coaching volleyball, basketball, and dog dock diving. I can remember dog dock diving. What do you do to actually relax?
Occasionally sleep a couple hours.
Okay.
I was going to say, do you relax?
Do you relax?
Dock diving is my relax.
Is it okay? Okay. Last rapid fire for this. You got to answer this one quick. Better athlete, pound for pound. Volleyball players, Payton or Reese Hislop or Millie. Which one is better, pound for pound, the better athlete?
Reese Hislop.
Okay, she's a monster, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah, I've done. My daughter played volleyball in high school, and so I take a special interest and kind of follow it a little bit. And I've heard that she's a sophomore, right? Or she's a junior?
Correct. She's a sophomore.
Yeah, sophomore. Okay, rapid fire for all you ladies. And I'll just go bam, bam, bam. I'll go bam, 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 and then I'll go bam, bam, bam. Here we go. One word to describe this team this season so far. Payton.
Sisters.
Family.
What I did?
Well, it's all right. You can pick one of them. You can pick one of those words. It's fine.
I'd say sisters.
Okay. Now you get to go first.
Okay.
Toughest opponent that you faced so far this year, team wise. Best team you played so far this year.
Ooh. Probably Croatan or Laney. Laney was definitely.
Okay, Coach.
Laney Croatan.
Okay.
I was gonna say Laney.
Okay. This is Coach. Biggest area of growth this year so far for the team.
Maturity.
Okay. For the girls, favorite part about being a multi-sports athlete.
Meet so many friends.
Okay.
I was gonna say meeting people or growing in the sport.
All right. For the girls, pregame ritual or superstition? Do you have a pregame ritual or superstition?
I think we just all hang out on the bus and talk.
Okay.
Listen to music.
Okay. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I would say.
All right. What's
In the
on?
locker room, we don't talk about basketball before the game.
Yeah.
Right.
We kind of just relax about
What's your playlist? What's your go-to playlist on your AirPods?
Oh
I haven't been listening
Yeah?
with my
Yeah.
AirPods.
Okay.
recently.
no, I don't know.
You don't? Okay. What is your go-to move on the court
My go-to move.
to score?
Well, recently,
What you say? Okay. I'm gonna let Coach answer this.
well, it should be jumping. Last night I had a little bit of struggle in jumping. I've been doing one dribble to the side and shooting.
Okay.
I think is what I've been doing.
Addie?
Mine? I don't know.
She just gets the ball. And
She gets the ball and
What's,
scores.
what's
Yeah.
my move?
What's her go-to
you
move,
kind
Coach?
of leave
Go-to
through
move.
people in the middle.
Yeah, you like to drive and pop a shot.
Okay. One word to describe Coach Miller as a leader.
Tough.
Just remember you got to write it.
Very kind.
No.
Not scary. Depends on the day. No, she's fun. She's fun.
Fun. That's a great word.
You never know what to expect.
Okay.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Okay. And I finished the last rapid fire question is the same thing, regardless of school, sport, or whatever. Swansboro basketball is what? One word.
Growing.
Okay.
Exciting.
I like growing. I feel like that was a good one.
That's fine.
She just
That's
Because
fine.
we're so young. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't even have a JV team. I feel like that's huge.
Well, hey, that's great. You got something else?
I have
for 'em?
one for the
Okay.
girls.
All right.
Or
yeah,
all.
I like that.
Who gets more animated, Coach Miller or Coach McFarland?
Oh.
Oh, I can. I listen. I can.
MC, yeah.
I don't even. I can tell you that
McFarland's.
right off the bat. Who it
McFarland.
is?
McFarland,
McFarland.
100%.
I'm like I want to have a nitroglycerin pill because I watched him
Yeah.
play. I just think he's going to lose it sometime. I want to put a little pill underneath his tongue.
And we're going to
if
have
he has
him
a heart
in
attack.
a couple weeks.
He's going to be here in
That'll
a
be
couple
fun.
weeks.
I'm older.
One last question: who is the funniest girl in the locker room?
Addie or Grace?
Addie or Grace?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the most serious girl in the locker room?
I don't know.
Danae. Danae
Yeah.
doesn't say a word.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that was a fun. We knew that.
Yeah,
was
we knew it was going to be fun. We knew it was going to be fun. Well, Swansboro High School continues to build a culture of excellence, not just on the scoreboard, but in the classroom and in the community. With Coach Kim Miller leading the way and leaders like Payton and Addison guiding the Pirates on the floor, the Swansboro girls basketball team is competitive, resilient, and thriving in a very tough conference night in and night out. It's a program that embodies hard work, multi-sports, versatility, leadership, and a commitment to excellence both on and off the court. It embodies its leader, Coach Kim Miller. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Payton. Thank you, Addison, for joining us today. And good luck the rest of the season. And don't
Thank
and don't be so serious all the time, right? No, I'm just joking. So, this segment has been brought to you by Moore Buick GMC. At Moore Buick GMC, it's more than just about selling cars; it's about serving our community. Right here in Jacksonville, Charles Williamson and his folks are proud to support local schools, charities, and events while helping families find the perfect Buick or GMC to fit their lives. From rugged GMC trucks to luxurious Buick SUVs, you'll find a wide selection backed by friendly service that you can trust. Whether you're buying, leasing, or servicing your vehicle, you'll always be treated like family. More Buick GMC, driven by community, powered by trust. Visit them today at their location on Highway 17 in Jacksonville or online at morebuickgmc.com. And we're going to, last part of the segment here, and we'll be wrapping up, is our Scholar Athlete of the Week. And this is Abigail Smith, sophomore from White Oak High School. Abigail, some athletes are special. Abigail Smith dominates across the board. The White Oak sophomore competes in basketball, cheerleading, cross country, and track and field. A year-round commitment that would overwhelm most students, yet she currently ranks third in the sophomore class with a 4.4 GPA. Her course load reflects serious academic ambitions, honors and AP coursework across the board. And of course, she plans on, upon graduation, she wants to go to school to become a civil engineer. She wants to continue on and participate in some sort of athletics in college. So, year-round athlete who refuses to specialize in something, excels across multiple sports without sacrificing anything. And she's balancing a rigorous coursework schedule, and she's a competitive athlete in all courses across the board. So, this Scholar Athlete has been brought to you by the law offices of John Drew Warlick. In Jacksonville and Onslow County, when life changes, you need someone who can move fast. The law offices of John Drew Warlick, 3 generations of trusted local attorneys, fighting for folks injured in wrecks or workplace mishaps and handling cases for the seriously injured. They also stand behind families through life's most challenging moments when they experience family law representation. If you've been hurt in a car accident or on the job, don't settle for less than you deserve. Call 910-455-7700 now to schedule a complimentary consultation. the law offices of John Drew Warlick, advocating for the injured, standing up for family, and results that matter. So that's going to wrap things up for the Down East Prep Report. And I want to thank you again, Coach Miller, Payton, and Addison, for being here with us for some great conversation. And, of course, Chris, thank you for just everything you do, man. You make my job easy. You send me to work. I kind of just clean it up and put it together, and we do the show. So thank you guys, for joining us again. We want to thank Marine Federal Credit Union, our sponsor, for things going on and just for allowing us to do the show and hopefully getting out to the people. Got a couple of programming notes real quick from the Man Cave Media Network. Tomorrow, January 21st, look for the 3rd episode of the Man Cave Media Network series, Homegrown, Real Athletes, Real Stories, Big Dreams. I'm not going to tell you who's coming out. You'll have to tune in tomorrow and see. But you can find it on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Man Cave Media NC, North Carolina, and you'll find our page. And again, we want to thank our partners in this endeavor, the fine folks at Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. And if you missed the first 2 weeks or the first 2 episodes, the first one was Jacksonville High School soccer standout, and now she's at the Naval Academy. She's a midshipman, Mackenzie Morrow. And last week, one of your folks, Swansboro High School football player, Amari Keynes, great guy, just a great kid, fantastic, one of the best kids I've ever met. And we talk about his journey at NC State. I'm going to share with you guys real quick. It's about a minute, so folks just kind of hear. You're going to be able to see the video, but you're not going to be able to hear what he says. But I want to share just a little clip from Amari's interview, and then you guys can, if you guys are interested, can go out and check it out. So let me share this with you right now. Support for Homegrown is provided by Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly serving Eastern North Carolina since 1967.
They grew up on our fields, on our courts, in our towns. And now they've taken that hometown pride to the college stage. This is Homegrown. Real athletes, real stories, big dreams.
As you look ahead, whether it's returning to the field, continuing to coach, student coach, or maybe continue coaching in a different capacity, or just simply life beyond football, what does success look like for Amari Keynes?
Yeah, so I thought about this question a lot, and I kind of think back on, I read in a book about Nick Saban. He mentioned how, now I see success as more of a path instead of a destination. I think a lot of people set goals, and when they don't reach that goal, they just automatically think it's a failure. I think about that path and that journey. So I think of, all right, I just want to be able to say that I'm better than I was. I'm better than I was 6 months ago. I'm better than I was a year. So I think of the little victory instead of just ultimately that goal. Because I think if you really focus on the path and, loving that path, loving the journey, appreciating the journey, you're going to get to that successful goal.
And again, that's Amari Kane, and great kid, Coach. You had the opportunity to be at school with him for 4 years. What was I just off script here? What was your interaction with Amari?
He was a great young man. In fact, I think he was back here last week shadowing Dr. Gross as a principal.
He was. I saw he posted something on Instagram or Facebook. I saw that he was shadowing Helen, as a principal.
So I mean, it's great to see them come back to school and get involved in things that you're there doing.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Couple other notes. Sunday, January 25th, this Sunday. 2 Men to Six Pack. That's our other sports podcast where me and a couple of my athletic director buddies get together. Do what?
Santa.
Santa, Dave Miller. And we talk a little college football. We're going to talk college football championship game, NFL conference finals. and the coaching vacancies in the NFL, and they're getting filled. Then next week, Down East Prep Report, Wednesday, 12 p.m. live. Jacksonville High School's wrestling coach Mark Holbrook and wrestlers Max Davis and Brock Smith. And they'll have wrapped up the regular season by then, right?
For wrestling.
For wrestling, yeah.
And then the big show the following week, Brett McFarland.
Brett McFarland. I'm gonna make sure I take my blood pressure pills because I need to be calm because he will get excited. Great guy. I met him once, but I watched him coach several times, and he's into it, man. I love it. I mean, he's into it. So, you have anything else?
No, I think fun show.
Fun
Appreciate
show.
it, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having us.
Ladies, thank you so much. So for Chris Miller, I'm Steve Goodson. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.